Las Vegas Raiders pass rusher Maxx Crosby is an unquestioned superstar, and he may carry a heavier burden than any other defender in football in 2025. I'm Kyle Krabs with A to Z Sports, and there's plenty of players across the league that carry a heavy burden for the year ahead. But no player may have a heavier load of responsibility than Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Maxx Crosby. Crosby, of course, signed a contract extension earlier this spring to keep him well compensated and in position to serve as the face of the Raiders defense. And the Raiders will need him to live up to every bit of his expectation as an endless effort player and one of the best pass rushers in the league. When you look at the Raiders on defense, there's a lot of new names on the second level, including Jermaine Pratt, who was a recent addition in free agency, but then Elandon Roberts and Devin White as the other stack off-ball linebackers are traditional plug players. They don't really give you a lot of value on passing downs. You look at the rest of the Raiders defensive line, and Christian Wilkins is coming off of a foot injury that leaves his current status even in question, as Pete Carroll didn't give a very encouraging update the last time that he spoke about Wilkins and his foot injury. Wilkins played less than 25% of the Raiders snaps last year after signing a contract with the team that paid him on average $27.5 million per season. Malcolm Kuntz was once a promising emerging pass rusher to serve as a running mate with Maxx Crosby in Las Vegas, but he too had a season-ending injury last year, and former first-round draft choice Tyree Wilson has more questions than answers as far as his profile as a pass-rushing player. Now, Adam Butler is a nice pass-rushing piece for the Raiders up front, but certainly not to the caliber of Crosby. And when you look at the other question that exists within the front, it's fair to say that Maxx Crosby is the pillar and cornerstone for Las Vegas, more so arguably in my mind than any other defensive player within their respective defensive front. And that's before you get to the secondary, where the Raiders get a contract extension done with Isaiah Polamalu. And Jeremy Chin, as the other safety, signed in free agency this offseason, is a piece that showed signs of life and living up to his potential finally under Dan Quinn with Washington in 2024. But the corner situation is a mystery. Jack Jones is gone. Nate Hobbs is gone. And in their place is names like Eric Stokes, a former first-round draft choice with the Packers, who has yet to come close to living up to lofty expectations. Jacorian Bennett can certainly fly and run, but can he cover? These are the kinds of questions that the Raiders have up and down the defense in an AFC West that has quite the arms race underway with Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos and Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers, and of course, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who have won this division 9 times running. So if the Raiders are going to make any noise in Pete Carroll's first season, their offensive overhaul will likely have a lot to do with that. But if they're going to have the pulse that they need on defense, Crosby has to wear the crown as one of the faces of the league and the Raiders' best defender by a mile.